It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett down, an early touch and an excellent...
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
It was a busy weekend right there in the world of sport, where it all started in the English Premiership on Saturday, where the Manchester United, they were actually defeated by Leicester City 4-2. I know somebody in the studio here with me is not really happy with that result, but that is how it actually went down. Liverpool, Manchester City, actually the cruise pass at a different opponent, and also a whole lot really happened during the weekend, where we actually received the torch of the 2022 Commonwealth Games, and also the National Youth Games actually will kick off right there in Kwara, where as it stands now, Team Delta are the one leading the medal table. This is how we welcome you to yet another edition of Sports Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Olawale Ayeni, and I'll be your host for today. As you can see with me, I have two great gentlemen in the studio who are ready to talk sports. Salih Usman, Sport Editor Leadership. It's great to have you join us.
Yeah, it's great.
How's the weekend?
Well, thank God for you.
What is your most finest moment in the world of sport during the weekend?
The most final moment of that is what is going on in the Forest State, the youth game. We have to reward the grassroots, and this is a push of the talent, and we are looking towards that who are being new talent that take over from the Asian one.
Of course, Alpha Acho also join us today because of the show. Was the weekend good for you?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'm here alive and well, so what more can you ask for? So it was a good weekend, whichever way from whichever angle you want to look at it.
Okay, it was a good weekend for Alpha. Also, it was a good weekend for the world of sports and across the world of sports. So right away, we go to our first story, which is on the National Youth Game, which is actually going on right there in Ilorin, Kwara State, where Team Delta have actually extended their lead on the medal table. At this point in time, the Nigerian Athletics Federation has said that yes, they have discovered new blessing of Okagbare right there in Ilorin at this point in time. We know that the athletics event has started, and we have seen the likes of the athlete from Team Delta, talking about Tai Ayerumo, and also Stella Oyebody of Kwara State. Actually gives a spectator what the good feeling of what they should actually expect in the coming year from those particular athlete. But Salifu, looking at the youth games at this point in time, is he living up to his bidding, living up to his expectation? We know that Delta State has been a serial winner of that particular game. Out of 5, they have won it 5 times. At this point in time, they perfect way to actually retain the title for the 6th time. Do we see any of the team? We know that Edo State are the one following Delta State in the second of the league table. Can we actually get to see upset at the end of the day?
There's nothing like upset in this game. Delta has already won the game. Because in the team of a medal table, Delta has already have 30 goals in total medal of 40 medals, 6 bronze, 6 silvers, and 4 bronze, 30 goals. And Edo, who is closely opponent, they only have 9 goals. And then the FCT who is also have 7 goals. So when will Edo going to harvest another 21 gold medal to catch up with Delta? So Delta definitely have working on, and I give kudos to Delta. The obvious thing is that either we like it or not, we have to commend the Delta State whatever anybody, although some people say that they are pushing athletes from others, they're pushing athletes from others. Where are those other athletes? Why are they waiting for them to come and post their athletes from there? So it shows that forever say if who is interested in sport development, that is bringing them. So either Delta is pushing athletes or from several states they are posting for. They are still posting in Nigerian athletes. And those athletes, the overall benefit of it is for the benefit of the country. And whoever either you like, we should give kudos to Delta State for investing a lot in sport. And then if you look at the national team at the national team generally, I'm talking both athletic, both whatever you look at. You're going to look at most of the athletes we have at the national level are from Delta State. Although in football, we cannot say we have many of them, but in athletics, in other sports, most of the athletes are from Delta State. So you give kudos to Delta State for always investing in sport development. So, and I'm a bit disappointed that other states are not even trying to be envious of Delta State. So, for instance, Rivers State, who has a lot of money, Okagbare has a lot of money, and all these oils, they also have a lot of money. There should be envious of what Delta State is doing. It's a big achievement for the state. And close to them, and at least good news that the most of the sport federations are trying to say that yes, the event is unveiling new athletes and for them, and like AFN and something that they have been discovered in Okagbare. But the obvious thing that Okagbare can always be only one Okagbare. So, but you can only
Those athletes can actually get to make their name. So
you can only equate, okay, this person have a semblance of this and this one. Just like we always say, another coach, often we are here to see the coach. So we can only have one coach, just like that. We only have one Okagbare. So, but good that they are saying that they are discovering new athletes and weight of the speed. And why they are taking that they are new Okagbare is because of this fast and the speed that those athletes run. So it's a good game, and probably that one thing I have to. If I'm advising the AFN that it's not good to say we have discovered new Okagbare, but the obvious said, what is your program like to monitor those athletes and to make sure that to support their development and to grow up to that Okagbare you are looking up to?
Alpha, looking at the national youth games, we know that it's a game that's actually made for the grassroots. But some of all those pictures we have seen, are there really athletes under the age of 15? Because we know the national youth game is for athletes are below 18. And just tell us about your own perspective about the games.
Basically, it's a youth game, so irrespective of their age. But I mean, I should believe that a lot of them should fall under the bracket of within that age category. Like Salif rightly said, I mean, games like this are always an opportunity. For me as a sports journalist, I mean, one of my best part of sports reporting is when it comes to youth grassroots and youth development, because the truth is, without grassroots and youth development,
there's no future.
There's no future, So that's why most times I get excited when I follow maybe a particular athlete or a player from maybe in the youth games, and I eventually see him when he's fully matured. So these kind of things are always things I like to look at for. So good one. And like we discussed even before this game started last week, we had talked about Delta and Edo State, and true to type, they have not disappointed us. I mean, in most cases, it always ends like this. Delta and Edo always, going following each other like that. And this is no magic. It's because of the investment they put in sports, how serious they take, sports. Like, for people who say athletes from other places, I mean, why not? If you are a resident in Delta State, you are doing well, and the state government feels, okay, we can invest in this person can go all out to represent the state. There's nothing wrong in doing that. I mean, in the other states, they also have other different indigenes who live in those states. So why not do those kind of investments in your state, so that they too can perform in this kind of game? So for me, that's not any serious kind of talk. So good one for Delta and Edo State so far, who are on top of the medal studies. And like for the discovery of a new blessing or Okagbare in quote, like we say, this is what the English media always does. Yes, exactly. You've seen a nice printer. Let's watch her develop and all of that, and not start tagging the next this. Like Salifu said, the next JJ, the next this. Till today, we're still looking for the next JJ.
Of course.
And exactly, allow people grow at their own pace. You could just say, okay, a new discovery found in the track and field event, something like that. Which one is a new Okagbare? There can never be another blessing. So, and
blessing will always remain blessed.
Yes, and beyond going to start going to town to announce that yes, we found a new blessing. What the AFN should be concentrating on about is how to nurture and groom these talents they are discovering. Not that after the youth games now won't hear of them again. So we expect that this kind of talent, I mean, in another 3 years in the Olympics, they should have come off or in the next Commonwealth Games. We should be at least see them at least representing Nigeria at international meet. So I think for me, that will be where the real victory will be.
And if I mean, what is that? I hope. You know, sometimes our we always make a statement, but to follow up is another different thing. Okay, sometimes this kind of competition at age group, winning should not be mostly our target. Because the minister of youth said during the opening of the athlete they put up this game, we're going to represent Nigeria at the African Youth Game coming up in Ethiopia next year, and at the same time at the Youth Olympic Game also coming up in Senegal next year. So yes, we shouldn't put priority that we are going to Ethiopia to win or to go to Senegal to win. Just ensure that most of those athletes who are grown, they are within the age of 50. Program their development, and then the next step should be all Africa game in Ethiopia. Give them that exposure. By the time they play African game, and at the same time move from the take them to Youth Olympic. But before you expose them to all this kind of competition, they will growing up. But instead of saying, but sometimes by the time we get closer to the game now, our players want to go and win, want to go, and at the same time, and the minister, most of the administrators are always fear that even sometimes the journalists also contributed to some of those problems. But the minister, whoever is in charge, always fear that the backlash, if at the top, if they went to the Ethiopian with all raw talent of this game, and we come back with that winner, you know how they belt it. Say we just start we say screaming headline everywhere. So sometimes even the journalists are part of this problem.
These administrators want to use that as to say, okay, under my achievement.
Yes, it's so good.
But youth games are strictly for developmental purposes.
But that's not like this. But journalists also encourage them.
Absolutely.
Instead of backlash them, if they go with this wrong and we should look at the development. So, for instance, when we went to this Tokyo Olympics, everybody focused on we didn't win it, forgetting some of the record and some of the improvement that we achieved.
Some of them were in their very first
Olympic, and some of them making impact. So we should also look at the improvement and the step instead of we should look at yes, winning at all time. So I believe that the minister will give them opportunity. Let this athlete represent Nigeria at the Africa game. You should forget about whatever may likely that either they go to backlash or if they go. Winning should not be at all costs at the youth game.
Winning should not be at all costs at the youth level at this point in time. But just to let you know that the team FCT actually they're the one occupying the third position with 20 medals, comprising of 7 gold medals and 6 silver and 7 bronze medals so far in the only national youth games right there in Ilorin. Away from that, we head straight to the CAFA international inter-club competition that actually went down during the weekend, where the likes of Eyimba actually secured a 1-0 away win in Senegal, and in Dakar they actually defeated their counterpart right there 1-0, and the coach of the side talking about Affinity George is saying that Eyimba is not celebrating yet despite a away win, that they are hoping that when their opponent come into the Aba International Stadium, they can able to finish off what they have actually started in that particular one. But Alpha, looking at Eyimba at this point in time before we go for a short break, are you certain that they can actually, keep this momentum, going forward and get the job done in Aba? Because the goal that they scored in Senegal was a penalty, was a sport kick, and at this point we know that the Aba Township Stadium is like a fortress for Eyimba. Will they get to finish
I think I'm more confident for the fact that they got, an away victory. Like when we previewed this match last week, we said about, and Finidi himself after the match said it clearly. He said during the match he noticed that his boys were very much rusty. So, and what he said was that all they did in match, the strategy he used was, while in the course of the game, he asked his boys not to overstretch themselves because he noticed that the Senegalese were faster than his boys. They had more, they were more match testing and all that. So he just asked his boys to try and contain them because he saw that clearly, if it comes to physicality and fitness, the Senegalese were clearly way ahead of them. And like we said, this is one of the disadvantages of not having a league going on. Those boys, their league have been running, but you don't have a league running and you expect people to go and do miracles. And in my opinion, they actually performed even beyond my expectations. So I expect them to come back to Aba and just finish up the job.
Salifu, looking at the match against the Senegal team, Eyimba, we know that the last outing they were actually finished in the quarterfinal. They couldn't proceed to the semi-final, and this time with the new boss talking about Finidi George, does he has what it takes to actually lead Enyimba to a continental title this season?
Well, I hope I believe so. And just like I said, the only thing that is counting against the team now that, like we said, is not having an active league at all. And to me, the record against the Senegalese team is a great miracle. To me, it's one of the miracles in football. I did never expect that they would go to Senegal and get the result. But the fact that they get to Senegal and get the result is a miracle. And it's good that the coach has said that don't allow the victory to get into your head. That the job is not yet done. And at the same time, you look at his comment that the Senegalese has had more matches, more active than you have. So you need to calm down and ensure that, okay, let's get the job done before we can celebrate at the end of the whole tournament. But for now, there's no time for celebration. I believe what that comment and the team to keep to that. You have see Nigeria found something is wrong with it. If not, Enyimba by now should be in the class of Halali. Should be in the class of one of the toughest teams in the continent. At the same time, Enyimba should be one of the
Chief Mozambique
by mere mention of Enyimba, should scare fears into another team. But it's unfortunate that we are still strong at this level after winning back-to-back CAF champions. That is then 2004. How many years now do they going back to this? Say that they're not team. We are just become an ordinary team now. Even play at the ordinary level. That we can't even
play the group stage.
So it's unfortunate, but I believe that we need the job level with his experience and the way we will be able to get the job done. But if he didn't get the job done, I don't think we should crucify him. Because there are a lot of odds and a lot of against him. We strongly believe that you get the job done, you hope the God of soccer will work on the side.
Do not criticize Finidi George if he didn't get the job done. This is actually coming from Salifu Osman at this point in time. But we'll go for a short break now. When we'll come back, we'll dissect Wasteful Rivers United, which they were actually held at home by a Sudanese club, and also we're going to be looking at where Bayelsa United actually defeated their opponent in their first match ahead of the return leg coming up next week. But for now, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, this and many more will be up on Sport Public. Don't go nowhere. Welcome from that short break. It's still Sports Orbit right here on the Leadership of Podcast studio. We head straight to the one actually that went down right there in Rivers State, where Rivers United were actually wasteful at the drew their match against Hilal of Sudan right there on a Sunday evening at the Adoke Amaka Stadium in Port Harcourt yesterday. Reports actually have it that they were wasteful in front of goal. They didn't convert their chances. And at this point in time, even the Sports Writers Association in that particular state, they are saying that they want to actually boycott their matches at this point in time due to what's really happened on the scene of that particular match yesterday. Alpha, quickly let's get a reaction.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really a sad one. I don't know what went wrong. Why there was no coverage of that match. What really happened? Why did they all of a sudden decide that sport writers will not cover the match? I mean, even watching a sports program today, I mean, all they also complained bitterly of how their cameras were almost assaulted by some officials of the team. So I don't really know their reasons for not wanting that match to be covered. Did they have anything to hide? Was there some underhand dealings going on in that match? And and not good enough for them, or unfortunately for them, they ended up drawing that match there in River State. And for those of us who know African football, where I know Al Hilal is not. It's not a team to play with. So going out there to Sudan will not be difficult. But anyway, I even understand the second leg who actually played in Egypt, and because of some of the crisis happening in Sudan at the moment. But wherever it is, I mean, it's still not Africa. So I know that return leg is going to be a cracker of a match. Well, for the officials or whatever, the handlers, administrator for Rivers United, I think they need to come out and explain to us why the match was kept away from sports writers.
Of course, the other match that was decided yesterday, so Bayelsa United actually secured 1-0 victory against Tunisia's club CS Vaccine in the first leg of the CAF Confederation Cup first round at the Samson Siasia Stadium yesterday. Salifu, you know that Bayelsa United actually qualified for that particular CAF Confederations Cup, having won the FA Cup, which is also known as the Atio Cup last season. And at this point in time, we didn't actually believe that they can actually pull off a 1-0 win over the Tunisia club. But at this point in time, they're actually cruising. Do you see them getting to hold their own when they play away in Tunisia?
I comment, although it's a slim victory, just 1-0, but at least for them to even won the match against Tunisia, safe as it's what
very tough
very
team also.
renowned teams in CAF competition. And for any for Bayelsa United playing in the lower division, remember they're playing in the lower division. They're playing in the NLL league. They all by virtues of the win their team. So for them to have even won at the same time, they play at the moment, just like we said in the case of anyone, the team that is what we have not been playing. Since the player take up, they have not played in any competitive tournament today, except this competition where they beat the Zambia team, and before they get to this level. So at first, I commend them for even be able to hold their own against the same person, and we hope that they'll be able to defend their victory again when they get to Tunisia in week time. So it's a good result for them, but I hope that the team they still don't realize based on their own assets. Make sure they will still work hard to ensure that and even get more goal. That's the only way they can survive. But getting to the Tunisia to play 90 minutes to defend one goal will be very, very tough. The best thing is also good there with their victory with the mission that they're going to also going to win.
Of course, those guys should go on with the mission that they are going to win. They should not go there and defend because the North Africans are very good when it comes to counter attack, and they'll be playing away from home, but it's still in the northern African country that is talking about Egypt. So Bayelsa United at this point in time, they should actually watch it if they can have any hope of qualifying to the next round. Away from that, we head straight to can we see not the foreign at this point in time, because we are talking about Super Eagles winger, talking about Samuel Chukwueze. He has actually returned to action, having been out of action for 5 good months follow an injury in his leg. But at this point in time, he actually came in for the remaining 12 minutes in Villarreal home loss against Osasuna on Sunday, as talked about yesterday in the La Liga game. So good at this point in time to see Samuel Chukwueze, back to action.
Yeah, and I must say he is returning at the right time. I mean, considering the fact that next month we'll also be having back in the qualifiers, and I'm sure that problematic right wing will be, have the presence of Chukwueze in that one. So good for him. He's been out for quite a while, over 4 or 5 months now. So 5 months, so that's a long time. But at least he got to see some action yesterday. 12 minutes, yes. But I mean, as he goes on, I'm sure before the qualifiers come back again, he must have had some good enough playing time to at least be ready for at least selection for that one. So good one for him. I hope he stays fit.
At this point in time, we really get starting shirts in the Super Eagles ahead of those current players we saw against Central African Republic and Liberia.
Samuel is a good player, but also if I'm even advised for now, then the rush should not even look on his size for now. They should allow him to concentrate on his club because he has
absolutely.
5 months delay of his not a small time.
Long
They should
time to be
allow
out.
him. They should allow him to recover fully because we shouldn't be inviting. We don't jumping from a train for train and from playing to come to Nigeria and go and play Nigeria and then go back to his club. For now, they should do over receiving. They should allow him to concentrate on his club and then play for his club. And then our wish is for him to recover fully. And we're happy that he's back in the action. We expected him to come back last month when there was a news that he had to train with the team when they went to play Mali in the Champions League. But unfortunately, we didn't get him to feature in that much. Now, luckily, yesterday, he was able to have a test of action for 12 minutes. And by hopefully by this Wednesday, when they're going to play the young boys in the
UEFA Champions
League, they are against the young boys at home. Maybe he will be having the full time to play that way. So our wish and our prayer for him is to allow him let us consider and have a full time at his club for now.
Of course, allow Chukwueze to concentrate on his club. Let him get a starting, a shirt back in Villarreal before you get to invite him to the national team. This is Sadifu's message to Coach Kenetro at this point in time. Still talking about Super Eagles player, where Victor Osimhen was the match hero. That actually sent Napoli to the top of Serie A in the match against Torino. It was just his only goal that actually gave Napoli that vital win, getting to displease AC Milan for them to remain top of the Serie A, league team. At this point in time, it has been 100% record for the Napoli side ever since the commencement of the Serie A. They have won all their matches at this point in time, and they are looking very, very good from them being on the table. And Victor Osimhen has been fired with us in that. So,
no surprises. If you remember how he even started, from the preseason, from the preseason, he was already banging goals. In almost every game during the preseason, and he has carried that form into the Serie. So good one for him. I'm particularly happy because I'm impressed because last season, due to COVID and a few injuries, the whole of last season he scored all in all about 10 goals. And so far this season in the Serie, he has scored about 5 goals already.
Yes.
So and the league hasn't even gone halfway, and he has already scored half of the goals he scored last season.
Just
so,
a match 8.
Yeah, exactly. So five goals in 8 appearances, outstanding return. I expect that if he continues in this kind of form, who says at the end of 38 matches, he won't have
Serie A as a scorer. Is it possible?
It's very, very possible. With the kind of form, and he's playing very well. And right now, there's a small report I read about Napoli. In fact, the team at Napoli now say that Osimhen is like the heart and soul of Napoli at this point, because it looks like they rely solely on him now, because even when it looks like Napoli are not going to get a goal in a particular match, Osimhen pops up from nowhere and get the job done. So nice one for him. Nice one that he's a Nigerian, and I really hope that he followed the footsteps of the likes of Samuel Eto'o, the Drogbas, and all of that. It's been quite a while since we have a Nigerian who, a striker for that matter, who, at that level, So I really hope that Osimhen will really live up to the billion expectations.
Of course, I was actually watching some videos about Osimhen in the early hours of today, where the announcer were actually calling his name, and if you the crowd were actually getting to reply, and it was just so a beauty just to behold that they were actually hailing Victor Osimhen for his impressive performance in that match.
And that particular match, if he, just like that said, Osimhen has established himself as a strong point as in Napoli. And he's delivered, and the hunger, the anger to make sure that I must get this goal. If you watch that match yesterday, our own Nigeria's
on the other side,
he scored that goal at just 7 minutes at the end of it. And if you look at, he has to jump higher. The speed at which he jumped, I never expected he can jump to that level as if he's a high jumper. To jump to that extent, not that goal. It's spectacular. It's one of the best goals. And everybody's coming down. For me, it's
showing the same, of course.
We must win this match.
Of course, you actually saw him when we played Central African Republic, even in Lagos and in Cameroon. He was the one actually getting the boys that they should actually go for good. He was actually the man gingering the team for them to put up an impressive performance. Hopefully, we should get to see him score more goals in the course of the season. So all the best to Victor Osimhen not going forward. Flying Officers Cup pre-season, Cup 2021 has actually zoomed into quarterfinals as matches will be actually be decided today at the Old Parade Ground in Abuja, where we see the likes of Royal Queen be battle Oshun Babes, while FC Robo Queens will face Niger Realtors FC in another 8 encounter, while tomorrow actions will be saying the likes of Conference Queens and Nasara Amazon Trade Tackle before Queens and Sunshine Queen will fight for the last spot of that particular competition, as it is actually going down right there in Abuja. Away from that, we head straight to this foreign scene where Manchester United are ready to give on social £17 million to spend in January at this point in time. So many people are wondering, you have all the stars are in Manchester United at this point in time. Ronaldo is there, Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, the rest are there. Alpha Cavani is there. Alpha, I know you want to be one of those sport journalists who know the in and out of Manchester United at this point in time. What is really happening to that particular club? Because we saw them losing against Leicester City 4-2.
It's very simple. Like
even with the big names and all that.
It's very simple. Like I said, coaching. When you have someone at the helm of affairs who falls short when it comes to the tactical nuances of the game, this is what you get. It's not about assembling an expensive squad of players. I mean, man for man, you can't compare the Leicester City squad to the United squad. But I mean, what they have, you cannot compare the tactical capabilities of Brendan Rodgers to Solskjaer. Whether we like it or not, Brendan Rodgers is one of the best coaches in the Premier League. He's a very top coach. If you give a Brendan Rodgers this kind of City United squad, I'm telling you, United will be challenging for the title right now. So I think the hierarchy at United, what they don't understand, they try to blame everybody, put the blame on the doorstep of everybody. But the coach, sometimes you can.
Is it because he's a legend? He play for the club?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes this legend of a team, you take it too far and it destroys the club. Look at the example of Chelsea. I mean, wasn't Lampard a legend? But I mean, when he got to a point, they have to just let him go. Look, yes, fine, we respect you. You're a legend in this club, but come on. When it comes to coaching this club, at this point, we think you are not the man to take us forward. Like I said earlier, Solskjaer has been able to. I think he has an eye for identifying, assembling a good squad. He has been able to do that. No, and you can't take that away from him. Some people can do all of that, but now we need somebody who will take this club forward. You've assembled the squad. You've done your work well. Now we need a tactician to actually utilize this boy. So I don't think he's spending more money to bring in more players. I think United have the materials to challenge for any title in Europe at this point in time.
Pogba was actually
they actually challenging for the title.
I mean,
Pogba was actually
in just by game match week 8, you're already 5 points ahead of the leaders. I mean,
it's because they lost this match.
No, but no,
they were neck to neck with the top.
No, initially, but now you are from 5 points behind, and Liverpool are firing on all cylinders. Chelsea don't look like they're about to slow down. Man City.
Every club will sometimes also have their own.
No, but I mean, if by this time of the season you're already dropping off the pace, then and look at the next run of matches they have.
But
playing Liverpool.
Pogba is saying that the Kozik go easily.
No, of course, they don't
Why is it for was it on the pitch?
No,
on the pitch also.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if you want their match, if you want their match, I don't know why he's taking this blame for. Is it blaming the defender? Is he blaming for?
No,
okay,
of course,
their
match,
why not? The game was one of the best. Was the best on the pitch. If not for the game, they consider more.
Maguire just came
back
from injury.
You brought a player.
Even Pogba was not effective in that match yesterday.
No, agreed. But in the defense, fine. You brought a player who just came back from injury, who had not trained even with the squad, and you play him over a Bailey who was fit. You don't do that. Even in the England squad,
of course,
he wasn't played because he was not much fit, and he just came back, not even trained with the squad, and you throw him straight into action. He was much rusty. He couldn't do much, especially if you look at two of the goals. It was clearly a defensive error.
Your own opinion at this point in time, are you moving for the sack of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
100%.
Are you
100%.
I'm not the one to decide if to go rather to go or not to go. If it's left for the club,
No, left for the club. I'm talking as a fan, as a fan, and
Oh, you're not talking as a fan.
no,
Oh,
as a
okay.
fan.
Okay.
But he needs to be fired. I mean, no, clearly he has shown that he cannot take this team forward anymore. I mean, it's clear as light as day.
Well, let the big man at the Old Trafford decide. But for me, it's left for them. But you as a fan or whatever, you will see from a different angle. But what the management see sometimes in different promotions, just like some Arsenal fans are also crying for the head of Arteta. But the management is taking on that way. They are looking on another different direction. So be it. It's not for you to decide whether who is to be here. But
see
your
about
own
that.
what you want to see, just want to see the result. No, sometimes just like I tell you, sir, clubs may have their off day sometimes.
Of course, club may have their off day, and sometimes it is left for the management of the team to actually to decide who stays and who goes. But at this point in time has actually decided our fate that we have to leave the studio at this point in time. It was nice, talking sports with Salif Usman and Alpha. Of course, our viewers, it was nice having you throughout the course of the show. We'll make a return tomorrow with a bigger and better package for you, for your listening pleasure on Sport Orbit right here on at the Leadership Podcast Studio. For me, from now, I am Wale Ayed. I'm saying bye-bye for now. Do have a lovely day ahead of you. God bless you.